Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Bodied, a Cloud9 fancast. I'm your host, Havok Puss, and I would be joined by my co-host, Frozen Creek, but he is going to be out for the next couple of weeks, so I am going to be flying solo. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm going to kick things off with some updates from the CSGO team. The team was at IEM Cologne. They were in Group B, and they didn't have a really hot run. They 2-0'd Outsiders in the upper bracket of the first round. They had to face against Astralis in the second round of the upper bracket and lost 0-2, only to go down to the losers bracket and lose to Team Liquid 0-2 as well. Kind of an unfortunate run for the CSGO team, I think, especially after them looking really hot with winning another recent tournament. I think it was IEM Dallas. Yeah, Dallas. And then I think they finished maybe like top 4 in the Rubit Cup. So the team is looking all right. I think this definitely maybe checked them a little bit. I'm hoping that the team can still do pretty well. I still believe in the team. I think the roster is still very good. I really like the players, and I think they still have a lot that they can do. I think they just have to get more consistent. So hopefully between now and whenever their next event is, the team can really kind of shape it up. And hopefully they can do a bit better. Moving on, we have some pretty positive news, however, with Cloud9 White being the, count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-time VCT Game Changers champions. They actually had a lot of setbacks in this tournament, which is actually kind of funny. I think in the group stage they had to maybe forfeit a game due to some issues with like them like showing up late or something, and then they got into the actual bracket. They lost to Immortals 0-2 and had to go through the lower bracket. They eventually had to clean up Sanrio's, Dignitas Female, and TSMX to eventually play against SRGC in the grand finals. They beat them 3-1, and I think it has to be said about Cloud9 White and just their ability to play, at least in this division of Valorant, in the Game Changers arena. I feel like there is no real team that can maybe top them. At least to me, that's what it feels like. Because everyone is doing great. I think Bob played really well. Our newest addition, who was replacing Annie, who moved to be more of a streamer than a player. I think it is unfortunate that she had to leave, but I think Bob played pretty well to kind of fill in Annie's shoes. Of course, we have everyone else still on the roster, and we scored another championship, which I think is really, really great. The team looked really good as always. I think especially Jazzykins and Katsumi were doing some really sick stuff and doing some just really sick plays. And we got another championship. I don't know what's next for the team. I'm really hoping that eventually this team can go into some more deeper runs in the more like open qualifiers for other events, because we've always seen them kind of fall a little short in qualifying. Obviously they're good here, but I'd really like to see them get there, because they've always been trying to get there, and they've been working for so long and so hard, and I think they deserve to have some deeper qualifier runs and maybe even get to qualify for some bigger tournaments. And I think they deserve it. So hopefully we can see more big W's in the future. I'm really curious also to see just like how far this streak goes, because this is their 5th one in a row of the Game Changers Champions tour that they have won. So who knows who knows what when they'll lose, or how long this will kind of happen. But I'm hoping it'll be for a really long time. But switching gears just a little bit to Overwatch, just want to update some people on the scores of what's been going on. London did play against the Dallas Fuel last week. They lost 1-3, which is kind of unfortunate. Dallas played really, really well, and it seemed like they just had stronger players. It was one of those things where I think before the Dallas game we were playing up to, if not below, our skill level in terms of matchups. Now we're finally playing against a team that's higher than our skill, which I guess is somewhat understandable. But it's a tough loss, but I think we fought really hard. I'm really looking forward to the mid-season madness tournament that starts next week. On July 18th, we'll be playing against Atlanta. And I think we can win that. I think we can at least win the first round of the winners portion and head on to the next round against Atlanta. I'm not sure if we would be able to beat the San Francisco Shock if we get to the next round. That'll be really tough. But I think that we should be able to at least give them some stiff competition. I think the last time we played them, we got really, really close to beating them. So who knows? Maybe we can beat the Shock. Maybe we can have at least somewhat deep run in this mid-season tournament. But I'm really excited for that. I hope the team does well. I'm really looking forward to it. But as for that, we can move on to League of Legends. And we don't have a lot of news since the team was off last week. I wasn't able to catch the games, but the Academy team did play last night against Immortals Academy, and they beat them 2-0. It looked pretty handily from what I've seen, so hopefully the team will do the same to Immortals this weekend with the main roster. But speaking of, we can talk about the actual matches. And I feel somewhat uneasy about this weekend. We play against TSM and Immortals. TSM matches at 5:30 p.m. Central Time on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we play Immortals the same time, same bad channel on Sunday. I'm not sure about these games. I think that everyone's saying that we should win because TSM is doing pretty poorly. They've actually had to reshuffle their roster right now. I feel like just on paper we should win, but I feel like this is kind of a trap game where it's like, oh, they had to like swap out Shenyi for Chime. And TSM's like really struggling to get wins and play well, but I still don't know. Sven is, I think, still trying to learn support and get really into it. I feel like we could definitely drop a game there. I think a similar thing with Immortals, just because it's like, oh, it's against Immortals. They're 1-6. We don't need to prepare for Immortals. But I feel like that mindset just has us lose. So I just feel kind of uneasy. I think that we should be able to 2-0. I think both of these teams are very weak. TSM right now, especially with all that's going on internally with them. Immortals, I think, just on paper, we just have a stronger roster. But who knows? I think we should be able to win. I think as long as we don't get too crazy and enter our brains out in the early game, we should be fine. I think maybe Belveth is available now. I'm not 100% sure. I would really like to see Blabber bust her out if she is available. That'd be really cool. But I think we just have to stick to our guns and not into the early game, and we should be able to win. I think it would also maybe dictates a little bit on which champion Blabber plays. I think if he plays something that he's really comfortable with, we'll look a lot better. But we'll just have to see. I think the weekend could go a lot of different ways. I want to say 2-0, but I could definitely see us dropping a game as like a trap game. Because those definitely happen against weaker teams. But not a whole lot else to really discuss. I do want to give a shout out to the 100 Talk podcast. They allowed me to come on with a lot of other members of the podcast community. We had friends from the FlyQuest podcast, Flight Check. We had a couple people from the Evil Geniuses podcast. We had, I think, someone from TSM podcast. It was really nice to see. It was really, really fun. I'm not sure when the VOD for that will be released, if it isn't already. If it is, I'm going to try to link it in the description of the video on our YouTube channel. If not, you know, try to find it or look out for it. It was a really fun time. We had a really great discussion. Everyone, they had some people call in, and we kind of discussed that. And it was a great time. So please check that out and check them out. But other than that, this was your small-bodied update. And I will see you again later.